everybody, what's up? Hope you guys are doing well. We gotta get us a clap machine, Mitch. Hang on a second. Let me get my buddy in here. What is going on, everyone?
They have built-in effects in here. You can upload it. It'll work.
Very cool, man. Very cool. I hope everyone's doing well. Hey, I was talking with Mitch yesterday, and he said, "Do you want to go live today?" And I said, "Well, this is a reoccurring thing because we're having fun. We like doing this." I got worried a little bit before the show. I sent Charles75 in a text. I didn't want to step on any other YouTubers' toes on a Sunday afternoon, and so I'm going to get with a couple of you guys after the show. I've sent a text out. I make sure that the time that me and Mitch are coming on here is not affecting anybody else in any negative way whatsoever. We're wide open on our Sundays. We can adjust our program to you guys because that's what we're about. We're not about anything else, okay? We're here to have some fun. I'm going to play a little guitar, and we're going to talk about, now that the dust has settled after the Best of All Worlds show that I attended. I did a show last Sunday on it. Many of you saw it. Thank you for watching, by the way. I want to humbly say thank you from me and Mitch. It's just great to interact with you guys on a regular basis. I don't see you guys as regularly as I used to, so it's nice to be able to see you guys. Ben Coombs, hey, we're going to address the chat. Let me get back up. Mitch, you want to call the chat out, or you want me to do it, man?
You do it.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go right up to the top. I'm going to do this like Fruitcake Tony would do. I'm going up to the top today. By the way, shout out to Fruitcake Tony. Right on, brother. Ed and Brendan, by the way. I freaking love you guys. Mr. Mick is in the chat. What a rocker, dude. Right on, Mick. Right on. Christopher Live Sovitz. Good to see you, Christopher. Hope you're having a great day, brother. Right on, Christopher, man. I can't think of enough nice stuff to say about you. I could camp out on it all day long, bro. Frank C. Frank, I just want to say I'm going to talk about you, and Mitch is going to talk about you. We are going to talk about you tonight quite a bit. I'll get into that in a minute. All good, all good. Let me do a little scroll here, see what's going on. Wayne McConnell, it's good to see you, Wayne. Right on, brother. Right on. Yeah, no, it's not really, but thank you. I appreciate you so much. We've got the great Ben Coombs. Right on, Ben. When you coming down here to Charlotte for a NASCAR, I mean, please. I'm waiting for that photograph so I can put it up on my channel, and you can put it on your channel. Think about it. Think about it. Anyway, I love you, man. We got Hip Metal Works in the house. It's good to see you, Hip Metal. Right on, man. Right on. It's really good to see you, bro. Let me see who we got in here. Anybody else? Trevor, Symmetry is in the chat. Right on, Trevor. It's good to see you. Right on, bro. Let's see where we're at. I don't want to miss anyone. L&M Guitar Corner. Right on, L&M. It's good to see you, my brother. Thank you. Hobo Roadie. Hobo. You got some stories, brother. I hear just a little camp out on Hobo Roadie for a minute. Every once in a while, I don't know if you guys pay attention like some of us do. Every once in a while, Hobo Roadie comes up with just an incredible little 2-sentence story about some rock thing. And every single time I'm like, man, I would love to hear that whole story. We'll see. We'll see what's up, my brother. Right on, man. Jay Paul. Right on, Jay. It's good to see you, brother. Welcome, man. Right on. Let's see, who do we got here? We got Obo Roadie, boom, boom, L&M. Lars Guitar. Right on, Lars. It's good to see you, my brother. It's good to see you. It's been a minute. Right on, man. Right on, man. I don't want to miss anyone. As people, Jay Santiago, bro, it's good to see you, Jay. Right on, man. I hope you're holding it down. As people jump in, we'll say hello to them and acknowledge them in the chat as usual. One of the as I stated earlier before, I was talking with Mitch about it. The dust just kind of settled on the concert last week for me. It's really refreshing. I saw Ed Dubril. Love you, Ed. He caught the show, I believe it was last night. On social media, I saw at least one of his posts. He enjoyed the heck out of that show. He said it, if I can quote him, I'll get it within a couple of words. One of the greatest, nicest, wonderful evenings he's spent in a very long time, I believe. Or I got it kind of in the ballpark, Ed. Don't get mad at me if I didn't get every word right. But it comes with mixed reviews. And the mixed review came from me. I mean, I had mixed reviews. I'm still bittersweet on the show. Wouldn't not go, though. I would still have gone to the show if I even knew that I was going to that show and I was going to have the same experience. I would still go to the show. I just, I wouldn't have sat where I sat. We had wonderful seats. We were so close. The sound was absolute crap. I cannot tell you how bad my sound experience was for both Loverboy and for Sammy Hagar. I was in a bad wedge of, I believe it was blown power speakers. It was nothing more than a thwack, a very low registry thwacking sound that just overtook everything. All the highs and mids were gone essentially, and only the high highs would come through. When Michael Anthony hit the very there was one note of the entire night that was the most Van Halen moment in the show. It was during Ain't Talk About Love. Michael Anthony hit the high note. For me, that was unbelievably cool. Worth going to see the show. But Frank C., ironically, as Mitch and I were thinking about this and talking about doing a show, Frank sent, and he was so gracious. Frank, you're so kind and such a rocker. It's an absolute pleasure to know you. I got to say this. He sent Mitch to give me a file with all of his front row banter. And I believe there was if I get the story wrong, Frank, don't get mad at me because I heard it like third hand, okay? There was a lady behind him. They exchanged info because she had some videos she shot of the banner that Frank, threw Sammy. Now, I didn't realize at the time that this happened that when I was watching during 5150 and he holds the banner up, I didn't actually realize he had gotten that banner from Frank. I was hoping, because I knew that Frank had thrown him up a banner. I had heard that. I didn't know that it was the banner of the night. There was actually a point during the show where somebody threw him a gold with the big fluffy frilly stuff Ric Flair coat, the big overcoat that Ric Flair wears. And Sammy rocked that, and it was awesome. But it paled in comparison to the signing and the way that this is classic Sammy. When I say why I wanted to see Sammy, why did I want to see him do what he does? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly. And it is priceless. I want to give a quick shout out to Janice Lala. We love you, Janice. It's really good to see you, Janice. Right on. Right on. Blackjack guitar. Right on, Blackjack. You rock, brother. I don't think I missed anybody else. Let me know, Mitch, if I do, though, brother. And so, that being said, we wanted to come on. We're not looking to be on for a super long time, but I wanted to share this again and revisit it with you, with Mitch, and let you see what Frank got to go through, because you heard about my show. I'm sitting 30, 40 feet from Frank. I'm sitting there looking at the back of his shirt while he's up there in the front row. And his experience at that show was quite literally, for as far as the audio portion, was night and day. because the bands, as I stated before, and I don't want there to be any misconstruing on this, the bands delivered 150%. Every musician who hit that stage in both Loverboy and in Sammy's band were outstanding. Cannot say enough about them. They did their job 150%. But my experience in the sound, and as opposed to him, was not only night and day, but he got some pictures and he got some, just a little quick video. I'm not going to do any, I won't play any live. I'm going to play some live stuff. We're going to put some live footage, but it's going to be little snippets. I mean, I was literally considering playing an entire song on the channel today, guys. I'm not that I don't have the nerve. We haven't worked that out yet, but I was fully ready to do that. I don't know quite what the consequences are yet because I'm new to this, but we like to push envelopes a little bit if we can for content and for we're not a monetized channel, and we're not going to be. We're looking to have fun and keep it very real. We're going to keep it real. We're going to keep the music real. One of the things that I always, just a little side note, one of the things that I don't hate it, but I always look at it and say, gee, you know, it's too bad we can't use this audio, or we can't use this, or we can't use that. And I get it, but at the same time, I want to use it. I'm not doing it for monetary gain. I'm not doing it for fame in any way, shape, or form. Or as Mitch, we're not trying to do any of this. We're just trying to present things the way they actually are and pay tribute to who we're paying tribute to. And that's a big mountain. And so this is our take on this. All right, guys? Anyway, I'm getting off my damn soapbox right now. And, hey, Mitch, let's pull that first picture up. Not the one, Frank, but the very first picture of the show that we opened with.
You gotta remember. You gotta.
I got you right here, buddy.
And then I'll
it
switch
right
it when
here.
you
I
want
got
me
you.
to.
So this is me, and that's Fruitcake Tony on my left. That's Jay Turner and his lovely wife, Emilise. I had the best damn time with these people. That's us in the venue. We're in there early, a couple of hours early. There's a couple of hundred people in there maybe milling around at this point. The basic gates have not been open, and Tony and I spent the majority of all that time like a couple of camels walking from place to place as we were sent to try to get our merch pack, which I have not received, and I know Tony hasn't received. Now, I refuse to let this go. I'm not letting it go. Number one, we paid for it. Number two, customer service should be better than this. So I'm not going to do a whiny, crying thing about why we didn't get our merch. We're dealing with it, and we're not going to let it go. I'll just leave it at that. But that being said, I don't hold Sammy accountable for this other than the fact that it's his merch. I'm familiar enough with marketing and merchandising of products to know that there's a third or even a fourth party who is screwing up. And ironically, at the venue, we ran into people. In fact, some of that walking around like camels was with other people who were doing the same thing we were doing. So, that being said, I just want to say that is an ongoing thing, and I'll keep you guys up to date. I'll let you know, because this isn't over. We're going to get our merch. We're going to get some kind of satisfaction out of this in some way, shape, or form, because they owe it to us, you know? Hey, Sandra Picorni in the chat. Right on. I love you, Sandra. Right on. That's awesome. Excellent.
Charles 75N is in.
Right on, Charles. Hey, I loved your show with Laz, the show that you guys just did. I was watching with Laz and with
Janice.
I'm so sorry, and with Janice Lala. And Laz is an interesting dude. I'm going to say it like that. He's done a lot of stuff in his life, and every once in a while he comes out, and You're an interesting dude, Les. I'm just gonna put it like that, bro. I enjoy the heck out of you. This community benefits from you being here, and thank you. I'm gonna say that from both you, to you and Janice. You guys are part of the positive side of this community. You always have been. I appreciate you like a breath of fresh air. Right on. Anyway, moving forward. So we get to the venue where we're saying our hellos and we're doing a little reminiscing about all kinds of stuff. And you're welcome, Janice. And as we start to realize that we're not going to get our merch pack, we ran into this lady, as I stated before, who had a piece of paper that had some info on it and said they were going to mail us our stuff. So we let it go at that point. We moved forward and we got into the venue. Everything started on time like it always does. Wonderful place. People in the venue themselves are very helpful. They go out of the way. I've always, for the most part, always had a wonderful experience at the Charlotte PNC. Period. Always. Because North Carolina people are freaking awesome for the most part. They always have been. And show starts up and immediately I start, I'm looking around and Tony, I was telling Tony there's Frank C's down in the front row and I'm telling him who Frank is and I'm on my phone and I'm messaging all kinds of people. I'm sending pictures and Loverboy hits the stage. And immediately the sound was just, I was like, my God, this is not good. This is not good. This is horrible. But I knew because I could hear just very faint. I could hear that the band was doing their part in their role. And I realized very soon that it was an audio issue. Wasn't going to fly, but I was there. Paid a lot for the seats. Tony and I were kind of stuck. We were stuck and we had to take it. But what transpired from this was truly wonderful. And even though my experience was less than lustrous, for the most part, like I said, I would not only do it again, but there's some people here, and Frank C is in the chat, you guys. Y'all need to get to know this man. He's a rocker. He's I don't know, Mitch, I think I'd call him a Sammy Hagar fan, a Van Halen fan. No, a Van Halen nut. Yeah, he's a Van Halen nut, and he loves the Sammy era, obviously. He was the shining luckiest person in the venue of the night as far as during the show. I don't know, somebody backstage may have gotten more love from Sammy, but I can't imagine it. Mitch, if you would, let's pull up. Now, do I need to remove these?
No, I can
okay,
switch.
Okay, you got it, right?
I'm just going to go. You tell me where to go. Here's the next. Oh, there's a video. Can you see that?
So this is video, you guys. Sammy has got wrapped around his waist, and he's cinching it up. Yeah, and tethered to it is an El Marco. There's a string attached to it because Frank's no fool. He's done this once or twice. He knows. So he throws this up to Sammy, and it's a 5150 banner. They're playing 5150. Holy crap, guys. It was magic. Magic. And when Sammy first held it up, I didn't know Frank threw it to him. I was hoping, but I didn't know. And sure enough, go ahead and play the rest of that.
I don't think you're hearing the sound, though, are you?
It's okay. It's okay if we're not getting audio.
That is Frank in the red right there.
And by the way, that's Frank right there, you guys. Frank, the chat, Frank, right there, man. And so Sammy's, check it out. Look at this.
Frank and his love.
Look at this.
There you go.
Priceless moment for this guy. Frank, you're a rock star, buddy. Right on, man. I got to tell you, thank you for sharing this with us so we could share it with all of them.
And I can personally
very cool.
Attest to that. I know him personally because he used to live up here. Unfortunately, he moved. But we used to hook up quite a bit and go to Guitar Center in Maryland. And then he moved. He had to move. But I did quite a few. He's got some nice EVH guitars, other guitars. I think if you go on my channel, you'll see I reviewed quite a bit of them,
Mm-hmm.
almost all of them. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I miss Frank, but he's real close to you now, very close to you. So
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he's way close. You're absolutely right,
yeah,
man. He's just down the road,
You got to hook up,
and
sometime.
that's definitely going to happen. I tried, as I said before, I tried to get down to the front row, but I couldn't. I couldn't go down the front row. I could get to the front row. I just couldn't go down it
Right.
any more than like 10, 12 feet. And then there was a guy standing there, politely letting me know that I didn't have access to the front row at that point. So, anyway, let's show some more. Let's show
Real
some
quick,
more.
I think you alluded to this, but this video was this lady behind Frank took the video and she offered to send it to him. To Frank.
Yeah,
She did.
yeah,
She sent it to him.
yeah.
It was very nice. All right, let me
That
click
is one of the nicest things, that, hey, just another thing. I told you, Frank, North Carolina crowds are awesome. That's just one example. And so Frank also got all these wonderful pictures with good light. Mine had a little shadowy going on, too. I got a couple of good ones, but Frank's photos are awesome. Michael Anthony delivered 150%. Best Van Halen nights of the moment were because of him. If there was any allusion to the old days. Bless Sammy, his voice is gone, and I mean gone. It's just nice to be able to see him stand up there and try to do this. And I got to give him a shout out, man. They pulled it off. I've watched the entire show a couple of times, on YouTube from the best audio perspective, and I missed a lot. What I missed was really kind of pissing me off a little bit. But that being said, everyone else there, they delivered a wonderful show. Sammy gave everything he had, and it was still good because it was Sammy. It was still good. It was still good. The boop 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 too. Have you Sandra Picorni asking in the chat, Frank? Let's see this. Did I get that right? Look at that. Look at me all navigating YouTube. Frank C., have you sealed that banner in an airtight container? I don't know, Sandra. He's the kind of guy, man. He's probably wearing it to work.
Oh, I think he was getting it framed or something. I forgot. He did talk about it.
Yeah. Airtight framed picture frame.
Oh, now I'm lost.
That's okay. Technical difficulties? Jeez, we deserve a few.
There we go.
There we go. So
there
he is.
That's the banner. Yeah.
That's the banner. I can't believe, Frank, that you were at this show out of 20,000 people. 19.5 or something like that. It was, for all intents and purposes, it was a sold-out show.
That's a
you
nice
could still
picture.
get a ticket, but
really nice quality.
It's beautiful.
Nice
Absolutely beautiful.
There's another.
So I'm going to give Joe Satriani major shout-outs. Look, he didn't sound anything really, really like Eddie Van Halen. He emulated some of his licks. He had good God, he had monstrous tone. The nerd guys out there are all split on this, and I understand. I get it. You're all right. You're all right. All of you are right. You're just in your own ways. It was such a pleasure to see this guy walk up on that stage and just kick serious ass for a couple of hours. What an awesome hired gun. I don't know any other way to put it. Some of the moments were absolutely guitar prowess and breathtaking. Yet, there was a looming everyone missed the Van Halen brothers. That's really the whole vibe the whole time I got. People around me were all making little comments, not in a negative way. I didn't hear anybody knocking anything, but I did hear some people,
That's a real good picture of Michael Anthony right there.
Isn't that awesome?
Nice one.
How would you like to have that on your bedroom wall, dude? Life size, in that color quality. That's awesome.
Well,
That's
I'd have to take.
absolutely awesome.
I had to take down all my Farrah Fawcett pictures.
Well,
Nah, just kidding, just kidding.
or no, you can't do that, bro.
That's another good one.
Uh,
You better-
so, so we were talking about the guy in the back there is the keyboard player. His name's not Ian. I think it's R. It's not Ari. God, you know what? I did this last week. I apologize. Bad Charles. Bad Charles. It's a 3-letter word, and he's a really cool guy. He's an incredible guitar player. He's an incredible keyboard player. He filled in on lots of different things, and any keyboard part, obviously, that needed to be played, he did just an outstanding job. I said it last week. I'm not so sure about his fit. It was a little different for me, but that's just my observation. I don't know how Frank even feels about it. It's an ongoing thing. We'll talk about it. We'll see what's up. Really good attitude from him. A lot of energy. Look at this.
Oh,
Look at this guy.
That's really good.
I honestly gotta say, I cannot believe that he's up there with a microphone in his hand doing this now. What a rocker, dude. What a rocker. Can't say enough good stuff about Sammy Hagar right now. Really, really wonderful to get to see him. Check this out. Right on, man.
Another good picture of Anthony. And that's all I copied from the original folder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but I still got more if you want me to throw them up.
Oh no, I think that would be pretty cool there, brother.
Yeah.
Do you so Frank, I want to thank you for sharing your experience with us. I can't wait to meet you. Spend a little time talking with you. We probably got a lot of stories we can tell each other. I'll tell you some of the ones when I meet you that I can't tell on the air.
So you have guitar centers near you. You got that biggest micro center in the country near you. And,
Well, I didn't know it. Quick shout out to Randy Price and the OU812 crew. All you guys, I love you. 30 minutes up the road is a store in Lincolnton, North Carolina, which is a little country town with like all kinds of charm. It's a just charming little town, right? They've got a guitar store called Guitar Wishes, right? And I didn't even know it was there until just very recently. And I met Randy up there. He was trading a guitar to buy a guitar. And it's the most fantastic flipping guitar store I have been into since I was in L.A. And that was not Guitar Center. Guitar Center in L.A. was awesome. It was badass. It was totally bitching. And as a kid, but there was a place it was in Manhattan Beach, California, down on the coast. That's where I was born, called Gene Lee's Guitar Studio. Gene Lee was an old school. He taught guitar lessons. He played an acoustic. They had electric guitars. They featured Rickenbacker and Gibson and Fender at the time, I believe. Yeah. And Ovation guitars, Ovation acoustics had become a real big thing. And I can remember playing an acoustic Ovation for the first time and getting pissed off because it wouldn't stay on my lap. It kept sliding down because the back was around. I said, this is never going to work. But they did. They did. Sandra, what is this? Yeah, I could use some subscribers. Right on. Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, if you guys would take a minute, subscribe, man. Right on. I'd appreciate. I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm the most un-YouTuber there is. Wow, I've crossed the line. Anyway, Concord, North Carolina, Ben Coombs. Wait a minute. Let's see what Ben says here. I went to a music store in Concord, North Carolina. It sucked. I believe it. There are, I can right off the top of my head, in Biscoe, North Carolina, and in Candor, North Carolina. Candor's like the peach capital of North Carolina, by the way. Little fact there. There were a couple of music stores. I call them mom and pops. And it was really, and I'm not knocking this, but it's really seemed that their whole sole purpose for existing was to provide maybe PA and some small base equipment to like the local churches, because there's a church in every corner in North Carolina. And I noticed that. And I went in, I tried to buy an Epiphone one time from the one in Bisco. And I came in to look at it, and they had the guitar up there, and I noticed that there was this crack on the headstock. I looked at the crack on the headstock, but it had been repaired. You could see it was a repair, and they weren't letting anyone know. Now, it was a good repair. It was good. It was clean. I just happened to notice it. But that wasn't cool. And it wasn't, they weren't telling anyone that. So that just goes to what Ben was saying. You know, a good music store, a good guitar store is worth its weight in gold. I could tell you, good God, I could spend 2 hours telling Guitar Center horror stories that I've personally had to go through. Buying guitars, used guitars on their online. I've had absolute horrible results doing that. And so what I did was I took some advice, and I got a hold of that guy right there and had him start producing. He produces guitars, and I went ahead and I think I've gotten 3 from him now. It won't be the last. Every time I get one, I have wonderful results. So that's batting 1,000. You can't mess with those. Ben Coombs, you can't mess with those kind of numbers, brother. You just can't do it, man. Right on, man. Zach Thong in the chat. It's good to see you, Zach. Have I missed anybody, Mitch? I don't want to not say hello to somebody.
You can highlight Frank real quick. Frank sees about our local music store. That's where I got my, when I got back into playing in 2015. I ordered that through them.
Nice.
Fender Stratocaster Deluxe, American Fender Stratocaster Deluxe. Ouch.
You know, Mitch, you got some really nice guitars. Guys, you guys who don't know, Mitch has got some guitars, man. He's got some really, really nice guitars. And he's got the bug. I'm going to talk about you, Mitch, for a minute. He's got the bug of the inexpensive. I hate the word cheap, because people use the word cheap and then they try to say, but it's so much better than cheap because look what I got for cheap. No. The technology to build guitars right now with CNC capability is unbelievably good. And so they can produce a guitar now for $300 that will play. It will intonate, it will tune, it will play. Does it play as well as a $1,000 guitar? Well, I've played $1,000 guitars that didn't play as good as some of my $300 guitars, right, because they were set up correctly and there's factors involved. Will it play as good as a $2,000 guitar? It better not. It better not.
But
it better not come close. It can. It better sound good. Sounding good and letting your fingers do the talking. Well, that's just the way it is. I mean, you don't have to have an expensive guitar. However, if I'm buying a $2,000 instrument, I expect that thing to be spot on. I mean, spot on. And the thing about a $2,000 instrument is you should be able to set it up in various ways. If you want your action low, you should be able to pull it down low. You should be able to jack it up a little bit if that's your thing. Quality instruments are quality for a reason. But that being said, you can get a $300 instrument right now, and you can learn to play that instrument, and you can just rock your world with that thing. And I think that is just fantastic. I think it is fantastic. I don't knock cheap guitars. I don't knock expensive guitars. I judge a man by the quality of the tires on his vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Just kidding.
Michelin?
Just kidding. I don't give a shit. Michelin. I'm just kidding. Some guy told me that when I was buying tires for my truck, and I said, and I was buying expensive tires for my freaking work truck, and I said, well, you must love me then, bro. And he kind of grinned at me.
The most expensive guitar I have right now is my Gibson Les Paul, which is, was over $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the cheapest one I think I have is maybe $150 Epiphone special or something. that thing plays. It plays fine. I'd have to do. I don't think I did any setup on that. But like, I might have shared this before. I've been buying. I bought this Leo James guitar.
Here, let me sing you.
This Leo James, $230. It's got Alnico 5 pickups in it. And it might not be like American Alnico 5, but it's good. This is my favorite cheap guitar to play. Um, I don't know if any of the people here are familiar with the ball shredder. So he was endorsing it. He interviewed the guy on his show, the guy from from China at the NAMM show in California, Leo James, and he suggested make a guitar with these specs, and I bought one. I love it, and then now I'm going to get a plug to the ball shredder. Leo James made some signature guitars for him for the ball shredder, about 9 of them that he's selling. And he sold them on his live stream Friday. I don't know if he sold them all or not, but I was thinking about getting one, but I don't think it's going to be too much different other than the color than this. And so I was thinking about buying one, but I just love the quality of it. I mean, I had issues. I had to like four frets were high. I had to level them. And shined it up, cleaned it up, and it's perfect. It's fine now. It's great.
Mitch, a little funny side thought. I'm too transparent. I swear to God, I am. So Mitch tells me, he says, Bald Shredder's got these guitars. He shows me a photo of them. I even went on and was watching while it was going on, and I forget that what were they, like 300 or something.
300.
And we were looking at the specs on them and this and that, and at that price point, whatever the playability is, it can certainly be set up and corrected because all the appointments were good on the body and the neck.
Yeah, I think they had the same pickups in here. Yeah.
So I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, man, I'd really let. Mitch says I'm thinking about buying one. Immediately, I'm like, Mitch is going to buy one of these guitars, man. I want him to review this thing. I want him to play a backing track on it. We're going to talk about it. It's content. I just wanted you to buy the damn guitar so you'd have such a good time doing it. Because you would have had such a good time. But you can't buy them all, can you?
The ball shredder, his real name is Richard James, but no relation to Leo James. But anyway, he was like, if he got a lot of input on it, he was going to have to put all these entries into a hat. And so I don't know how. I didn't bother.
Gotcha.
Because he was doing, it was $300 with shipping, from his house. He's in California. And, but that's fine. I don't, I've been on this budget guitar for the last year and a half, 2 years. I have $116. Check this out. This is $116 Garrett IT Strat copy, and it's got the ceramic pickups, but it's got a humbucker. I had to set it up real good and fix some frets and stuff like that. I mean. But this thing sounds great. It's crazy how good this thing sounds. What is it? $160 or $119, whatever it was. It sounds
that is
great.
Absurd. That is absolutely absurd. I
think the last video I did was with that I uploaded.
It was. I remember it. I even liked the color. It sounded wonderful.
It's heavy too. It's got some weight to it.
If it'll stay in tune, that's really the thing, though. I had this Squire. I had it forever. It was the first guitar that I ever decided, okay, I'm going to learn how to do fretwork with this guitar. Right. Because the frets, not only did it have fret sprout, when they clipped the frets off, they didn't finish them enough so they weren't like little knives. And you would slice your fingers open playing this guitar. It was the most horrific setup guitar I've as bad as any guitar has ever been that you've pulled. And this came from a Guitar Center, you guys. By the way, it was like $150, something like that. It came with a gig bag, I believe, at the time. And so it's the guitar that I decided I was going to learn how to do fretwork. I was going to decide to learn how to solder this and change out this. And so I turned it into a single humbucker. I threw an Invader in it, and I edited it out essentially, but I redid all the frets on it. I made that thing play really well, and it plays really, really well. Does it play like $1,000 guitar? No, it doesn't have the geometry. The wood's not the same. It's It is what it is. It was made a long time ago, and it's just not. There
I
was
have
not a consistency to the
I
guitar when it was
I have to
produced. I
say
guess is what I'm
this,
trying to
you know,
say.
because I'm there, I'm plugging the ball, Richard James, the ball shredder. He's you know he makes albums. He's a fantastic guitar. You heard him play, and but he's
Yeah,
never
it's
owned,
good.
he just doesn't believe in buying these expensive guitars. He's never
Yeah.
owned. He's a young guy. Well, younger than us. He's in his 50s. But anyway, he's never owned. I believe. Don't quote me. I believe he told me he's never owned a Gibson or American Fender guitar, and he's got albums out, and you wouldn't know if he's playing on a like I said, a $2,000 guitar or the guitars that he's using, and
Mm. Mm.
he's using like he's using a DAW, and he's using like an old Line 6. I forget what it is. He's using an old DAW and old Line 6 hardware. You know, the interface, and
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what the DAW that came with the music interface came with it, whatever. It sounds fantastic. You can't tell. I did, I did a couple things with an amp, um, and then with the software, with the Line 6 software. To me, I can't tell the difference.
Yeah, it's especially with like the platform we're doing right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard, but there is a certain dynamic from a quality instrument, a $2,000. It shouldn't be about the $2,000. It should be about, is it a fine quality instrument or is it not? I have $600 guitars that play as good as $1,400 guitars. I have a $1,400 guitar that plays as well as my $2,000 guitars. However, there is nothing better than a fully decked, hot rodded, all the specs, bells and whistles guitar.
Hey,
Whether you build it yourself or you go and purchase it. And there is a difference. There's a huge difference. You know, having a real quality, properly set up Les Paul through a Marshall stack is life-changing guitar.
I've never paid.
And it still is to this day. Okay? So if you're trying to get that and that's your goal, then that's what you need. And it's funny. That hasn't really changed. I mean, are there variations of it now? Can you do this and that? Can you, a Friedman stack like John Disdain uses? Yeah, you can do that. But they're apples to apples. We're talking apples.
Hello,
But
Rudy's Jam
you still don't get the same thing as you do with a JCM 800, and a Les Paul is still magic, and it's what a lot of, there's different tones now as things are changing. I'm noticing, everyone wants the brown. It used to be 10 years ago the brown sound, this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
Well, now there's a whole nother bunch of generation coming into this, and as time goes on, it is becoming a singular, unique tone that people can gravitate to and still do because it's so good, and there's a reason. But it's interesting. I believe in the next 3 to 5 years, and as people who argue with you now, ever since things like Kemper and all the new technology in the last 5 years has come out, can you simulate the half-stack JCM with a Les Paul? Can you simulate it well enough to where you can't tell? Well, the purists are going to say no. They're going to say, no, bullshit, it's not the same. And I agree, because I just watched John Notto from Dirty Frickin' Honey kick ass with that rig live in my face, and it does sound different. It's a whole nother animal, and it's a bigger monster. It's wonderful. However, on this platform here, and just in general, live shows, they're getting so good.
Uh-oh.
What do we got?
Oh, you froze up for a minute. You're
Did
back.
I? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're
okay.
back. Ooh, I got scared. But we got a couple more people in the chat if you want to say Sean.
Hey, there you go. Go ahead. Say hi to him, bro.
Sean Hockey. Am I saying that right?
Yes, you are.
He's what a great person in this community. He's the one that provided Quentin with some of his gear. I mean, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The head rush. I believe I might be wrong, but I think I got it right. Just you get so many good people. Ryan from OU812. I don't think he's in here, but just it goes on and on and on. The generous people in here.
By the way, quick shout out. I
Rhodey's Jam
put
Cave.
Rhodey's Jam Cave up a couple of times, but I kept meaning to give him a shout out. It's good to see you. Welcome, my brother. Right on, man. Scott Brockway in the chat, you guys. Yes. Yes, it is.
Another good guy.
Yes, it is. And there you got your Strat people and your Les Paul people. What am I? Am I a Strat guy or a Les Paul? If I was on a desert island and I had to have one guitar that I could use as a paddle if I had to in extreme situations, I would be a Strat guy. Okay? But the whole freaking time I'm playing the Strat, because I would know, unfortunately, I'd know that there's this thing called a Les Paul out there. I'd be wishing I had one.
I think I like playing my Strat styles better. I like my Les Paul and my Gibson SG that's for sale that I haven't sold yet. What I'm doing, I'm selling my expensive guitars because I don't know about the I will probably keep the Fenders American Strat and maybe I thought about selling my Gibson Les Paul too. I don't play it, but there's nothing like a Gibson pickup.
Okay.
I love the growl sound. What I call the growl sound.
That's exactly true. And so my question to you, Mitch, Papa Blue in the chat. Right on, Papa. It's good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. Why don't you play that Les Paul?
Me?
What's the reason for that? Yeah. Because I do know this. I do know this.
I'm
this
set up
thing right here. This isn't a Les Paul, but this is a solid mahogany set neck, mahogany neck, heavy ass. This thing is a freaking paperweight. It's massive. It takes effort to play it. Sometimes I'm playing it and my energy is like, oh, geez, I don't know if I have the energy to keep playing this thing and wrestling it. So if that's the reason, that's a really good, valid reason. The lightweight composition of these newer guitars it's very desirable. But I would play the hell out of that Les Paul, Mitch. I know you have gone through periods of time where you play it.
Yeah, I have played it lately. I don't know how. This is all tuned up, ready to go right now.
I guess it's just the playability of the inexpensive. I'm not going to even use the word cheap anymore because they are inexpensive, but there's technology in this inexpensive guitar now that wasn't there years ago, and a consistency in their build that makes them that makes them good. I mean, they actually play. If you can intonate it and tune it, and it will stay tuned. And it's got play. If it'll do those things, it's probably going to already have playability.
Even my cheap ones with the crappy tuners, I can make them stay in tune.
Excellent. Well, guys, you got anything else to say today? We've taken up enough of these people's time. They've spent time with us on a.
Oh, I thought you were making me play today.
Oh, that's right. I want you to play, Mitch. That's right. That's right, man.
I don't have to. No.
I want you. I really want you to, guys. I love listening to Mitch play. I encourage. I encourage you guys, if you're out there and you are like intimidated about coming on a YouTube channel to play, do not let any of that crap keep you from coming on here and doing it.
I haven't played in a couple days.
No, Mitch is going to kick ass right now. I've heard him play. I know what Mitch can do. Yeah, and anyway. Right,
but I won't be able to talk because I have to switch my sound.
It's all good.
So you just give me a cue, make sure my sound is all right. Let me switch my sound, and I got to put the backing track on. All right, hold on. All right, turn that off. Turn that on.
Right on, Mitch. I'm so glad you did that, brother. Are you there? I think you're there.
I should be back, I think.
You're back, bro.
Yeah,
You're back.
I haven't played in a while.
Right on. Right on, man. I'm so glad you play guitar, Mitch. I'll say it
Was the
again.
tone all right?
Your tone was excellent, and I've noticed also that others are commenting in the chat. Less is more. You're getting real accustomed to playing live. It takes some doing for me. It took some doing for me. I'm not even there yet, but I'm so glad that you do
even
this.
when I'm recording, as soon as I hit that record button, I'm not live, but when I do my recordings, I'm upload them. It could take me 3 hours to get something where I'm not making a lot of mistakes. Of course, I do cut a lot of my mistakes out when I'm editing in software, but for me to get a right recording, without me screwing up, it's just like I'm practicing. Oh man, that sounds good. And then when I hit the record, it's like, oh, you're hitting bad notes and you're flubbing up and all. But I don't care. I don't care. I'm not no Randy Price. I'm not no the ball shredder and anything like that. But I aspire to him. Another guy I like to listen to, Lester Mitchell. Y'all go follow him. He's a young guy and he teaches, and he's unbelievably really good. I mean, he's who that Jerry Dimes guy is. Yeah, he did one of his contests before. Entered one of his contests. That's how good the Lester Mitchell is. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
he teaches and he offers guitar lessons. He's very good. Anyways,
hey,
thanks, Larry.
Thank you for playing, Mitch. And we're expecting this to be a regular thing now, I hope. I think it's great. I'm going to say it again. I encourage any of you guys out in that community that have a song or something, a backing track, and you want to come on a channel and you want to play it live.
You have to be able to do it.
You just got to have you got to be able to produce your tone
without us getting any interference or
exactly.
I have to say this. I want to say something on my. I updated my Mac right to the most recent operating system like a month and a half ago, whatever. Anyway, and I use OBS. I use OBS Record, and they have. I don't think it's new, but in a recent version that was added, Mac desktop audio. Right.
Hmm.
You do not have to use any third-party software to get your DAW effects into OBS with this Mac desktop audio. I didn't know that. I just because I see it there, right, and I'm using it to capture, like, let's say audio I got from YouTube, so I can play against it. Because with OBS you can put multiple audio sources.
Yes.
And I'm playing it back. It's why is it not sounding right? Because I'm using Lander. I was recording it in Lander, and the Mac desktop audio was recording my guitar.
So you were recording in two sources, which you didn't want to do, and that was dirtying up. I get it.
So you do not need a third-party software.
Been there, done that.
Right. Well, you do. You don't need it. And on Mac, you do not need it anymore. So you could still record live through OBS. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work through StreamYard, but it'll work through OBS on a Mac if you want to stream live and get your guitar effects. It will work. That's a really nice feature. And I reset. I had issues with OBS on the Mac. I reset it. Of course, it was working really good when I reset it. Of course, I updated OBS on the Mac the other day. Right away, there was an error after I finished up, but I got it sorted out. But it's good that the Mac is really. I was really impressed the way it was sounding on the Mac. Thanks, Lars.
Right on, Lars Guitar, man. You rock. Let's see what Roadie's Jam. Yeah.
Yeah, I started.
There you go.
I was adding.
That's my world.
I don't know if you know. I started adding. I haven't played it in a long time. "Sultans of Swing." You know that song? I do that pretty good at one time.
I heard you play that for me, actually.
Yeah,
yes.
I I just caught myself doing something in that with that, not on purpose. But yeah, I did a full. I got a pretty good video where I'm doing the rhythm, and because I don't remember how to play it now. It's one thing I can't remember. I learned a lick like the lead to "Smoke on the Water." I can never remember it, and I was getting pretty close to doing it as fast. I just can't remember anything. That's why I could never be in a band and learn cover songs because I not unless I had the music in front of me. I just can't remember. I don't know how people remember 30, 40 songs,
I don't
a
either.
night. That's why
I
when I'm
don't
just
either.
jamming, in the key of something, I can play anything. Well, it may not sound good, but I can play mostly hit the right notes, make it sound okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Tony, I talked about this at the beginning of the show. No, I haven't heard a word yet. I'm not letting it go. I didn't even tell the chat all the things I'm planning on doing right now, but I'm bitching to the highest levels and I'm pissed. I'll just say it like that. If there's anything I can do, I'm rattling cages. I'll even say it like this. I sicked my daughter on them. That's what I did. She's taking care of it. And we will get results because I am not. And Tony, you're not going to let this go. And we shouldn't. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. There is no middle ground in this in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, I talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the show, though, brother. We'll talk some more about it, too, brother.
Brady
Hey,
Price is here.
look at this guy. We may or may not have mentioned his name from time to time. There's,
I think I just message. I'm not no Randy Price when I play guitar, but
it's the thing that's really cool about this community is we all have our favorites and we get to see individuals shine, and it's personal, and it's really, really cool. It's really cool.
Randy, I have to say he is one of my favorite people to listen to. I have to say Randy Price.
I tell you, I was talking about the
that.
store guitar wishes. Right now, this is back. He had just started coming on Ryan's show. And he hadn't let things go yet. He hadn't, because there was a point in the beginning of the show where he was not only being humble, but he was dumbing down almost everything he did just for functionality. I don't know any other way to say it, but we were at the Guitar Wishes. He grabs this guitar he's going to buy. He's checking it out, putting it through the motions, plugs it into a Black Star combo, and I make my way around to the backside of this guitar wall so he can't see me, and I'm listening to him for like 20 minutes, just freaking kick ass like I'd never heard him do before. And I said to him, when I walked up, I said, number one, I see you have great guitar skill, and number two, I said, you don't do that on the show, bro. And he goes, no, not yet. I think it was his answer to me, and I just said, well, I can't wait for that moment to occur. And sure as shit, it started opening up, and he is.
Everybody on there is good. Everybody's really.
Oh no, everyone is. This is not about. Oh no. This is not about saying this and that and the other thing. This is just about giving people their due. Everyone who comes on to any of these channels, we all welcome you. This is a guitar community. And get a load of this, guys. I'm never going to play guitar like Eddie Van Halen. I know, right? But that's okay. There's only one Eddie, and I just want to play guitar. I want you all to have the same guitar experience, as good of one as I've managed to have, and as Mitch has managed to have, and as so many of you guys in this community. They're coming on the channel, Mitch. We're having people on. We're going to start doing a little, and I'm not looking, and this is not set in stone. Nothing I'm doing or Mitch is doing here with me is set in stone. We are flying by the seat of our pants with this community to support this community. And just personally, I want to bring, I'll say it like this. I'm going to say it just like this. I have never really got to talk in depth with Janice Lala a lot, but we've had our pleasantries over the last several years. I remember back in the day, she was one of the first females in my YouTube world on Johnny Bean's show. I remember it. I almost like it was
Mm-hmm.
I remember when she didn't know who I was and she was reluctant to even talk to me. I don't know. I may get that right. That's kind of what I was getting, but I would love to have Janice on her. She is an incredible talent. She's one of the most warmest people that I've met in this YouTube world. I have nothing I can say bad about Janice. She rises above the drama. She keeps things together, and she rocks. She rocks. So anyway, Janice, I'm really glad you showed up here, and that goes for all you guys out there, man. I thank you guys for coming here. Mitch, you got any final words for these guys?
No, I think it's a good show. You did real good. So anything you do, you could. I mean, this is the way the community thinks again. I mean, just for me to talk about. You get your nice guys, nice, and I know, and even in person. I mean, just talking when we're not live, you're the same way as you are when when we're not live. You're the same person. You're just a very pleasant guy. I mean, I really enjoy being with you. I mean, there's no drama. I mean, just like we don't want nothing to do with drama. I feel we both feel the same way. I just want to.
Nope.
I don't want to
There's
get
enough drama in the world, man.
I mean, there's enough in real life. There's enough drama. Oh my god,
that's right.
I don't need it. This is my virtual life. I don't need it.
Right.
I want to get away from drama, from the news. I come here. There's no. You don't have no left, no right wings. We're all for the same thing.
It's all about the love of music, and we kind of focus on guitar.
Right.
I'm bringing bass guitar into this platform too, guys. It's going to happen very soon.
Don't get mad. I'm interrupting you. You got to highlight Randy's next chat. Comment.
Thank you, Mitch. Let me see what this. Thank you, Randy.
That's 100% agree.
I really appreciate you guys. Show me a lot of love. Frank
C's another one. He's the same way. Frank C is another one. That's why he's like. I would adopt. If he was young enough, I adopt Frank C.
I've never met Frank C. face to face. I've never got to shake his hand, but I'll be damned if I don't feel like I know the man.
Well, you live so close to each other. I'm sure maybe.
Well, that's going to happen. We're going to make that happen. Thanks for the kind words, you guys. I love you all. We've got some more guitar community coming up this afternoon. OU812 and the boys are going to be laying it down. I may try to make an appearance in there. I hope.
Ben Coombs, don't miss him tonight.
Ben Coombs this evening. He's got a big show this evening.
You know who's coming on? I believe somebody said Robert Baker.
Yep, he's got an evening with Robert Baker. That's what I understand. I hope it's the truth. There was somebody in the chat. I didn't want to miss them. They came in. Walla Cries came in. It's good to see you, Walla Cries. Right on, man.
Charles 75 in.
Charles, I love Charles. My God, man, we could do a show talking about how cool Charles is. My goodness, man. Scott, what do we got, man? Scott, oh, dude, thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you guys. I really do. You guys make my week. You make Mitch's week. We look forward just to getting here. I say it before. I used to come on YouTube all the time. I saw you guys all the flipping time. Maybe too much. I mean, it was a lot, but I like to see you guys one-on-one like this from time to time. And so we don't have a set schedule, but we're going to try to do this on a regular. We're going to try to always come and play a little guitar. And we are open. If any of you out there have some thing that you want to talk to me or Mitch about to do, throw it at us. Run it up the flagpole. We'll see if it sticks. We might salute it. It'll be cool. It'll be really good YouTube content, and it's healthy for this community. All right? Any final words, Mitch?
No, thanks for having me.
Oh, jeez.
You're not a stranger.
Yes, I could do this by myself.
He knows enough now. He's one thing. Like a lot of people, they're not real good with computers, right? I can tell you, and for the most part, you remember everything. I'll tell you once. For the most part, you remember everything.
It's like my life depends on it. I make lightly of it, but I am so ignorant with computers, and I've learned. You want to be good at computers, guys? Hang around smart people who know computers, man.
And I don't know everything, but I mean,
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm not into networking, just computer repair. And actually, I'm in the process of upgrading this PC here. Well, I'm going to keep this one, and I just lost my video there for a minute. That's about 5 years old. I'm ordering parts right now for a new build. It's going to be a Ryzen 7000 AMD 5, and I'll probably do a 7700X maybe. I ordered a heat sink. I have a micro center, but it's like 50 miles from me. But I'll get most of the stuff there. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Mitch, Randy Price says something about you. I put it up right there on the screen.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Just, like you could, you're using Body's effects. You didn't know how to get your sound. So with the effects, it's on YouTube, but you got to search and search and search. And there's a couple different ways you can do it. We're doing it with Lander, and it works well. And there's some built-in things in Reaper you can do it with. And I mean, I had to search for it. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff. I know how to do the software stuff. I don't know how to do like how Randy does his. He does with actual amps and mixer. I don't know how to do any of that. Well, I did. I used to use them. I used to use 2 computers to get my effects across, like from an amp at one. When I got back in like 2015 and stuff like that.
What I love about you, Mitch? You'll sit there and tell us how you don't know anything about a computer, and then you'll lay out like 5 sentences of knowledge that all of us just like.
Well, I don't know everything. I don't know everything. I'm constantly.
Oh my God!
Like I haven't built a computer in 5 years, so the last month I'm just looking at everything. I mean, I went to school for this like in 2001, but it doesn't. It changes. Technology changes. What you learn. Yeah. What I learned then in 2001, has nothing to do with what you would learn today. Wow. I mean, it's easier. Actually, things are easier.
Yeah. Wow. But, hey, well, Mitch, we're going to shove off, you guys. Okay. Guitar Man 45, Bo, I love you, brother. I hope you and the wife are doing well. Do something nice for someone this week for no reason whatsoever. And rock on, you guys. Be well.
See you guys.